morning, everybody. So, obviously, I did not wake up at 5:45 this morning, which I normally do. And here it is. I don't even know what time it is. It's like, what, 8:30 Texas time, Central Standard Time. So, welcome to late, very late, 6 a.m. conscious coffee. And, you know, it is a beautiful, beautiful, dreary day here today. And last night I was out and I was talking to an incredible soul, and I just had this, I'm always looking for the reasons as to, why things come into my life. I'm always watching for signs. I'm always looking for all this different stuff and messages to me. I'm one of those people that will drive you crazy, because I do believe that the universe is always speaking to us. It is just a matter of if we choose to listen or not. Hey, good morning, Crystal. Good morning. And, looking at the events of yesterday and the events of last night, and then I woke up this morning, not very long ago, and managed to drag my butt out of bed at a little after 8 o'clock and get coffee, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to bed, and I'm not gonna cancel conscious coffee. I'm gonna just do a late conscious coffee. Hey, it happens, right? It's about the consistency. It's about, sticking with something. It's about making having the focus to really go through and push through on different things. And as that kind of came up, and I made that decision to go ahead and do conscious coffee. Good morning, Steve. To go ahead and do conscious coffee anyway, I realized what the message of today was. And the message of today, as I sit here in bed and I think about it, and looking at last night and looking at yesterday and the last couple weeks, month, shit, it's probably been the last 6 months actually, but the compiling of all of that, the pressing down of all of that, I think it's really truly about clearing out our own illusions. And, I've done a lot of talk about illusion. I've done a lot of talk about having that consciousness facing your reality. What do you believe? What do you desire? All this different stuff. And here's the thing. A belief is nothing more than a practiced thought, right? That's all our beliefs are. They are just practiced thoughts. And then we turn them into certain beliefs. We turn into, actually truths. And when a whole bunch of us come together and we start to see something the same over and over and over again, then we actually create a truth from that, because multiple people see that, and then all of a sudden it must be so. Well, here's the problem with our supposed truths and our beliefs, is that they paint this illusion, and then we find ourselves walking down our path and things are going all groovy and wonderful, and maybe we're in love, and maybe we have a great job, and we have the house that we want, and our bank accounts are happy, and we're traveling, and we're just living life the way we really might feel that we should be, or we want to be living life. And then all of a sudden, some devastating event takes place. This devastating event takes place, and it is this horrible blow to us. It just kind of makes us go, ugh. And our truth just starts to crumble. It just starts to crumble. And what we have now is we have this realization that what we thought was so and what truly is are two different things. So we have this, light and dark, you could say, event happening. And what happens in the light and dark events is that it forces us to really question our truth. And as we sit, and the other day I talked about just taking 15 minutes, or, and I talk about, like having the gratitude prayer in the morning, doing meditation at least a couple times a week, having this quiet time. We tend to live in a world where we always have chaos going. The TV's on, the radio's on, we're talking to somebody, we're texting, we're interacting, we're here on Facebook, we're doing all this different stuff. And it's just push, push, push. We're bombarded by chaos. And this chaos prevents us from hearing our truth. So it is really, really important for each of us to just take 10, 15 minutes, just 3-4 times a week, and go into a place of stillness. Whether you call that meditation, I would not call it prayer, because prayer is a conversation. Prayer is an interaction with the divine. Whether we are stating our gratitudes and positive affirmations, or we are requesting help and placing ourselves in this state of, please God help me. So I would not call it prayer, but I would call it meditation or stillness. So if you put yourself into this place of stillness 3-4 times a week, and you just don't attach to thought, and that's what meditation is not attaching to thought. And when you attach to thought, when you get caught up in that river of thought, as soon as you come back to, oh my goodness, I just went down the river of chaos, is what I call the river of thought, the river of chaos. As soon as you realize that you've stepped into the river, come back to your heartbeat, come back to your breath, step out of the river. You constantly have a choice. So that's all meditation is. And then slowly you stay out of the river longer and longer periods of time. And that allows you to really be able to come into this place of truth inside yourself. And what this place of truth offers is it offers that your reality, which is actually an illusion, starts to crumble. It starts to dematerialize around you. It deconstructs itself, because you start to actually see how you have painted these pictures and wrapped truths and beliefs around things that aren't even there. And this is a really, really tough place to be, because we have this desire to have things the way we want them, to perceive things the way we want it. And our perception does create our reality, because two people can walk down the same street at the exact same time, have the exact same experiences, and their perception of the whole experience is going to be completely different. So your perception creates your reality, and this is where our illusions tend to crumble and break away. It really is more about, really seeing, and what I mean by seeing is feeling who you are here, and here is your heart, is your soul, is your spirit. And when you feel who you are, the divine inner you, that God spark, as I refer to it, our soul, always knows our highest and best good, always knows what our next step is. The problem is we can't hear that God spark for all the freaking chaos that we cause around us, right? So we cause all this chaos around us. And when we tap into that, like I see in Crystal, for me, prayer is asking from God, the universe, as meditation is receiving the answers from them. Yeah. So, and it really is that you get in meditation, you don't even, or that place of stillness, if that's a more comfortable term for you, you don't do a lot of asking. You can send out your intent ahead of time. You can write it down ahead of time. It's not about a conversation in that moment. It's about receiving. And when you receive yourself, you receive that guidance from the universe. You receive the guidance from God, from guides, whatever you want to use here. That's where you really start to see what the reality, the true reality is. And often what you're going to find is that that path of, you could call it a path to enlightenment, but that path to enlightenment is going to wash away and crumble down everything that you know. And it is going to cause you to do things that are not logical, that are not, you know, you could seemingly go from, let's say, a really great job that on the outside looks like it's a really great job, and then all of a sudden make a decision to just change jobs or start your own business or to something, you know, completely unrational. But when you get these callings from your heart, if you act on them, then you can move forward in such a better state. I mean, that space of enlightenment, as difficult and scary as it is, because it destroys our world. Much like anything, the building of something amazing first comes with the destruction and the tear up of something else. So you cannot build forward, you cannot build up until you remove anything that is holding you back. And most often, 85 to 90% probably of what holds us back as human beings from doing what we really want, from living our purpose, from being turned on and living in desire and having happiness and joy, is the illusion of our truth. The illusion of our truth, and we tend to build around that. So, as I was coming upstairs again to get back into bed, to chit-chat here, I had a book pop into my mind, and I have not read this. I think I'm going to read this book next. Actually, I have another book that I'm going to read on sex. Go figure. Sex in a Broken World. It looks like an incredible book that I just ordered. But this is not Sex in a Broken World. This is not about sex at all. It might be for you, but it's not the intent, right? This book that I'm going to read you a quote out of is called The End of Your World. And it's uncensored, straight talk of nature of the Enlightenment. And Shanti here, Shanti, there you go. This book will tear your world apart. It really will. Now, granted, I'm going to forewarn you guys, if you are of the Christian mindset, you may not want to read this book. This is very, very more, very metaphysical, you could say. Very non-religious. This is not about religion. It is about actually more psychological speaking. So, I mean, it might, I wouldn't recommend it to a very strong, overly strong Christian person. Now, Sex in a Broken World, that is a strong Christian book, and I can't wait to read that too. But everybody should know me. I will bounce all through different religions and beliefs, trying to get points across and to teach and to share, because I myself enjoy studying world culture and world history and looking for the similarities and finding the actual truths out there, not just the things that we humans tend to try to create as our truth. So the quote that I want to read to you is, again, the only way to know that we've seen into the true nature of something is that the story we're telling ourselves releases. It is not only seen to be illusion, it is felt to be illusion. I often tell students to stick with it until it falls away. The choice is between meditative inquiry and becoming a victim. That's the choice you have. To be a victim to your own ideas and beliefs, or to feel into them until they drop away. And that last part is, to me, the most powerful part of that quote. You know, the choice that we have is either to be a victim to our own ideas and beliefs, or to feel into them until they drop away. What we tend to do is we tend to really become the victim most of the time. We look at something and this person did that, and that person did this, and this event happened here, and that event happened there. And every single time hold on, my mom is calling me, decline this. Sorry. Every single time we fall into that victim state with our own truths and beliefs, our thoughts, and we allow them to rule us, and we look out and we have, all this stuff happening to us, what we're doing is we put ourselves into a state of justification. And in that state of justification, we step into the victim role. So we try to justify why things happen, where we're at, why we're acting the way we're acting, all this different stuff, instead of just saying, okay, that shit happened, and yes, that hurts, and I've got, emotions and feelings, and I've got these trappings inside of me, but I can choose to release these trappings, and from this point forward, move forward in my own conscious decisions, and move forward, or I can stand here and I can continue to point my fingers outward and say, so-and-so did this, and this event's not happening, and God's not answering this prayer, and, this didn't happen, and my parents said that, and my boyfriend said that, and my girlfriend did that, and my work, blah, 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 blah. I have health issues. My kids don't, blah, 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 right? Whatever path you need, we all have our own shit. So we can do all of this. And here's the thing, shit happens to all of us. Nobody has a perfect fairy tale story. And even in the best fairy tales, crap still happens, okay? There's still dragons to be fought, and rose thorns to push through, and things to conquer and to overcome. That's part of the saga of our life, is to work through those things. But the only path forward is to move forward, unless we choose to stand in the middle of the road and set up camp there. And if we set up camp in the middle of the road, we're still making the choice, and life is still going to move us forward, because our body is still going to age. The world around us is still going to continue. Things move forward. Life moves forward. Everything moves forward. Whether we take it and move forward in the way that we want to, and we, by making conscious decisions to align ourselves to the life that we want, which means to align ourselves to the thoughts that help create the life that we want, to the emotions that help create the life that we want, which create the actions for us to take to create the life that we want. Or we just go, well, I'm just going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victim to my life, and I'm going to set up camp right here, and I'm going to continue to point fingers outward, and I'm going to just kind of let life take me, and I'm not going to really step in and be the owner of my life, be the creator of my life. Obviously, you probably are going, well, I want to be the creator of my life, and I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. So then the question of this live here for you is, where are you setting up camp in the middle of the road and allowing yourself to point outward and believing these realities, these illusions that we have painted as our reality? And here's the thing. If you go, well, and what I mean by the illusion is that trapped thought pattern, which creates an emotional pattern in you that is, well, this is the way it's always been, so this is the way it must be. It doesn't have to be that way. That's the way it's always been. Great. Where are you at right now? Where do you want to go? Where are you at right now? Where do you want to go? Yeah, but this is the way it always is. I've never made more than $50,000 a year, so there's no way that I can make $200,000 this year. Really? I've never found love. There's just no good men, women out there. Everybody I date is blah, blah, blah. Really? Those are not true. That might be the reality that you have painted for yourself, and you've gotten very, very comfy in that painting, in that position. It's very, very comfy there because it's all you've ever known. But that is setting up camp in the middle of that road and saying, I'm going to just let life take me because that's what I've always had. That's what I've always gotten. That's what I've always been given. That's what I've always only allowed myself to receive. And that is comfortable. So that's what I'm going to just do. It's uncomfortable to take your life into your own hands and move forward. It's scary as hell to take your hands into your own life, take your life into your own hands and move forward. It's scary, scary terrain to just say, no, I'm going to stop being the victim of my life. I'm going to stop just getting washed through. I'm going to stop believing my own illusions as truth. And I'm going to go and create what I really want, what I really need, what I really desire. So where in your life are you setting up camp? Where in your life are you keeping your focus behind you instead of in this moment and forward? Because you need to be in this moment and feeling into this moment to create your future, but you have to at the same time have your eye on something greater than what you have right now. That is that desire, that dream, that goal, whatever words you want to put there. And you're never going to achieve that desire, that dream, that goal by living back there. Okay? If you're living in the past, if you're focused on those past programs as being your reality today, well, then that's exactly why they are your reality today. Realize that. So there you guys go. There's my Monday morning conscious coffee. And I don't know if I'm going to do a Monday morning mindfulness video later or not. We'll see. We'll see if I come about or not here. But yeah, and go out there, and I hope you take on the crusade to be the creator of your life, the co-creator of your life, because you can, and you have that decision right now to make that right now. Make that choice. 5 days of doing 15 minutes a day of meditation, of not stepping into that thought stream, not stepping into the chaos, just 15 minutes a day. Is your life worth 15 minutes a day of stillness? To tap in, to find out what your truth is, to get the answers that you want, to receive what you want? Is your life worth 15 minutes a day? I certainly hope so. Shit, I normally take like 3 hours a day in the morning. That's my day. Now, I know that not everybody is in the position to do that. But I can tell you what, when I wasn't in the position to do that, I still took 15 minutes a day. And that 15 minutes can change your world. If you don't have the ability or the longing to have that, if you can't find that space to go into that stillness, or it is so uncomfortable to go into that stillness, then that means that you are being ruled by your thoughts, and those thoughts are creating every single thing. I cannot stress this to you enough. Your thoughts are creating your reality, because those thoughts create your emotions, and that stuff all blends together, and that's what materializes in your world actually pretty damn quickly most of the time. So every single negative thing that happens to us has a reason, and most of the time that reason is that it is pushing us towards something greater than what we currently have. It is our internal, that God spark saying, no, you're settling, and it's pushing us. Now we can choose to settle, we can. But the soul doesn't want to settle. The soul wants it all. The soul wants and desires life and experience and love and joy and the ability to create constantly. It's your choice. Get creating, settle, set up shop in the middle of that street, get happy there, get comfy. Just don't bitch about how things aren't working. At least don't bitch to me, because I won't take it. But I bitch to somebody else who set up camp right next to you. And you can have your little drama party right there in the middle of the road. And wah, oh well, get over it, in my opinion, because you chose to set up camp there. Or stand up, dust yourself off, and make a decision. make a decision for you, make a choice, and go have a fucking amazing day, an amazing life. And I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, most likely at 6 o'clock in the morning. I should be back on my game by then. Okay? Okay. Love you guys. Bye.